Good morning. This is a bit of a rough and tumble video, quite short, but asking some rough and tumble questions about the next Fringe, the next Edinburgh Fringe for you. And I'm just encouraging you to consider some really important questions. And this was based on a bunch of conversations I've had over the last couple of days as we come to the end of this year's Edinburgh Fringe. I think the first question, this the big one, is are we coming back? And I think you need to be very careful if you've just gone into automatic mode and said, of course we are, if that's just based on you getting hooked. Sometimes getting hooked requires a bit of reflection afterwards, and I just encourage you, perhaps in the run up to Christmas and then the deadlines that start to appear in the new year, about what is the basis for coming back to the Edinburgh Fringe. And there are certainly people here who haven't done well in terms of their intentions at the start. And that has meant that they're going to be paying a lot of money or not getting a bunch of money back, and they've paid far more than they ever made at the Edinburgh Fringe, so purely financially. And then add to that, they either got critical reviews or no reviews, and they're kind of bigging up the fact they got a couple of blog reviews that are simply not going to last in terms of reputation after the Fringe. And going for funding, saying that you've got a review from Fred's Reviews or Mary's Reviews, which is someone's blog, it might be useful at the Fringe for getting stars up on posters, but these things do not usually cut the mustard on funding applications or getting other venues around the country or the world to take a punt on you. And they will be looking for reviews of a higher reputation, and that's just how it is. And so the question about coming back for some people is they're just coming back because they got addicted to this adrenaline rush, and it's nothing quite like the lack of adrenaline rush they get maybe in their day job or just in their hometown. And that's not to denigrate what happens in your hometown, but there is an artificial high or an artificial intensity here that people get quite addicted to, and they just want more of it. And I guess if you can afford it, this becomes your expensive holiday, and the show is the means to just have that joy and fun. That's fine. I'm going to address the rest of this video to people who have a seriousness about their professional work, and I don't mean professional in an elitist way. I just mean that this becomes one of the main things that you do, that your restlessness as an artist is to get professional recognition, peer recognition, and a sense of deep satisfaction. And so coming back can be everything from you're just addicted, whether you know it or not. And that is not always a great reason to come. And the second drink of the Fringe can sometimes be a come down from that first one. And you realise that to your cost later on. So some people just have another roll of the dice. If we're going to get it right this time, I'm going to win. I'm betting on 53 red, and this time it's going to come up. And they come up again, usually with the same show, hardly changed. And either they break through this time or it just doesn't work out again. And I think the second option is more likely if you simply repeat. So one thing you can do, of course, and most people will do, is go into a place of, I guess, humble reflection, look at any feedback they've had, take a hard, honest look at why it didn't go so well or why it did, and just be sure that coming back is going to work for you. Certainly I'm saying that just having another roll of the dice without changing anything, or just coming back because you're addicted, is potentially problematic, and you should be quite honest and take a look in the mirror about that. But the Edinburgh Fringe, the neutral platform, doesn't really care whether you come back or not. You'll just add to the many statistics of people that come. Other conversations yesterday were about coming back for what they felt was a good reason. And I think maybe the good reason is that I've learned a lot. And actually I've developed some interest in my work, and now it's going to go out on a mini tour. Or I've seen where I can go for funding to develop this. I've enjoyed the feedback, it's been useful to our work. We've genuinely got some reviews of, I guess, stature or quality that we really can use in funding applications. And the Fringe is the showcase where we show our work. And there's interest at home, there's interest in our community, there's potentially national interest. Someone from arts industry came, we met a tour booker, we're now going out on tour, and we're going to bed the show in, develop it further, and bring back something that's innovative, that's applying the lessons that we learned. We want to come back to the world's largest arts festival to develop it further and get that evolution of the show retested against reviews. But be real, How much did you pay for that here? Could you have got that back in London, back in Adelaide, over in Pittsburgh Fringe, anywhere in the world? What are the real net good reasons for bringing it here? Second to that then is we come every year, we're back again. And that can be a good thing. You might have already developed your audience. I know a show of short plays that happens every morning. It's been up here for 20 years. And it's got its audience and it sells out. And because it's short plays, they can bring new material, sometimes new actors, and it works for them. So this then becomes part of your tour circuit and the opportunity to play 1, 2, 3 weeks and get a really good run. But it's still just worth looking at the cost of that, the inflated cost of venues and accommodation, and to budget that and be realistic. You can come back for other reasons, to renew friends, acquaintances, because the venue that you're in feels like good energy and you come here all the time and you become part of an ecosystem that feels good for you personally, for your group, and it becomes a touch point each year. And of course it's the opportunity to be in the marketplace that's here and maybe get more bookings, more arts industry interest. So essentially, if you're established here now, you've got reviewers that often come to your work, and that there are reviewers that you'll be able to quote beyond the Fringe in your applications. The Fringe can then become a regular harbour that your ship, your show, your company always checks into. I'm aware some people do that just for a few days. And to say there's some brand value maybe into saying we've been to the Edinburgh Fringe. Others play the whole month. Some bring several shows. If you haven't heard it, some producers call it presenting work, and I'm presenting 5 plays, and it's part of a portfolio of what we do, and it raises the prominence of our company, and the fact that we played Edinburgh kind of tells our market and our industry how serious we are. I think that's on the decline and has been for a while, but it can still happen. Other decisions you might make are to change venue as well as to change show. Certainly some people who have lost their shirts up here financially might come back next year with lower risk and play in the free Fringe. And certainly some people are up doing that, and they're bringing work in progress shows. And the cost is a lot lower, of course it is, in the free Fringe, although accommodation is still expensive. But these are all big, important questions to ask. I've just done a really fast climb up here for me, that's why I'm a bit out of breath. But these are decisions that are really important to make before you come back. But coming back here each year isn't a given. There's a danger that you decline a bit if you just keep repeating. Even if the show is good, it might be worth innovating it, improving it, refreshing it. Because innovation's good for the brain. Creative thinking and development and evolution in our work keep us alive, keep us motivated. So have that good think. It's going into the final day here at the Edinburgh Fringe, and it's a good time to reflect on that.